Welcome, everybody, to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place to be for tips and tools to help you build a profitable business that's fun to run and to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday we have our money mindset coach, Coach Caren, all the way from Toronto, Canada, to help us get our money mind right. So with that, we'd like you to sit back, relax, get a pen and a paper. We're going to learn some things. Share this with someone else that you know needs some help with their money. And also, we want to say thank you for tuning in live and on the replay. And without any further ado, here is Coach Caren.
Thank you, Fran. So this is the month of October. And this month we start off talking about goals and how to reach them. And part of reaching your goals is being disciplined with yourself. And last week we spoke a little bit on discipline because we just had a short time. And so we just did two things out of a bunch of them that I'm going to talk about continuously. So last week we covered step one, which is to select the aspect of your business that you wish to improve. Example, whether it was email building, list building, and do that. And then we talked about determine what the process is for doing what you selected and how to do it. And if you're not sure, you reach out to the Biz Chicks or myself, and we'll definitely be able to help you how to get that done. Today we're going to cover another 3 steps in terms of how to keep yourself disciplined. Now, I want to pause and say right here, discipline is hard. It's not an easy task. It's something that we have to continuously teach ourselves and hold ourselves accountable. A lot of people these days are doing, they're not forever mastermind, but some people are doing, virtual accountability where they know that they can't seem to sit still, so they get somebody else in the room in a Zoom like this, and they're sitting there for like 2 hours and powering away and getting things done. Because that's what happened with intensive. When I first came online, a lot of people used to offer this, and I myself, where I come here and sit with somebody, and either in person or online, and you work through strategies, get them set up with a whole plan, and sometimes it's a day stuff, so you get your food ready and everything, and we do it just like this, and we really power it out. And sometimes you walk away from stuff like that, you're like, well, what did I learn? I was there all day, and she told me to do this, and that, but then you leave, and you don't know what else to do. An intensive day is just that, and then the follow-up comes after. And sometimes, and some coaches, I'm not talking about anybody, don't know to follow up or don't want to follow up because maybe it's not pocket worthy for them, money worthy, but it's worthy to follow up and see where people are at and what they need to do. And maybe it's a good thing if this is a kind of thing you're thinking about to build it within what you got to get. Excuse me. I had a bit of cold since last week, and the coughing just want to stay with me. I am not pausing. It's not making me not do this. So if you see me stop and get some water, this is what's been going on. And I had a lot of lives this week planned, and I'm sticking to my schedule as I'm talking about the discipline to get that. So today we're going to talk about quantifying how effective your lead generation process is. Step 4 is relying on your quantification to tell you where you need to improve. And step 5, test it, tweak it. If it worked, turn it into a system that works for your business. And so I'm going to get into each of those, topics that I just said, right? So that you could really understand how this stuff works. All right. And remember, we're talking about discipline. So this is your discipline act to get things done. One of the hardest things about discipline, and I found it out very early, is because I love immediate gratification. I'm like anybody else. I love immediate gratification. And because when we don't get it, that's why we don't want to continue doing it. So like I did a live in a friend of mine and a business associate group yesterday, and only one person attended the live, but that one person was so engaged, it was worth it. But I went with the intention that if nobody showed up, but one came to the replay, it would still be okay. Because the host asked me, what is a money mindset coach? Because when she first came online, she didn't know what it was. And she says she knows that a lot of people don't really understand what it is. And I'm going to do a little explain about that again here today, because it's worth repeating, what it is we do. And everybody have their own take on it, right? And so first of all, what is mindset? So before I even get into that, I'm just going to touch on it. What is mindset? Mindset is what you made up your mind to do. It's as simple as that. But sometimes it's still hard for people to grasp the idea. Now, whether you understand it or not, you are making mindful decisions every day. It might be good for you, but you're still making it. So a mindset, to have this mindset is to decide to set out what it is you're going to do and, and actually follow through and do it. And why money mindset? Because if you don't make up your mind to do what you want to do with your money, and money is involved in everything we do, so to set that aside and don't think about that would be foolish. So it's part of what you have to do. And why am I a money mindset coach? Because it was, I like to say, it was given to me. I knew that I was going to coach. I understand I was coaching before I actually turned it into a coaching practice. But I wanted to be a kindness coach, and that's how I started out. And when I knew that I had to switch, I thought on it. Like, what do you mean? I wasn't even hearing anybody talk about my money mindset. And then once, of course, I named myself. Because whatever you decide, you start pulling it, right? It's like driving a white car, you see more white cars. I'm not saying it wasn't out there, but I wasn't hearing anything much about it. And then everybody's a mindset coach. And then I see a lot of those people switch out because they weren't sure what they were supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. So the way I explain it is, a money mindset coach is a person who come in and help you organize your mind, stack it how it needs to be. And through doing that, you get to understand your money story, your money journey, how you receive money, how you behave around money. Just a word freaks some people out. And so they let go of whatever they're supposed to have. Because receiving money is just as hard, if not so much as spending money. People think people don't want to spend money, but receiving money is harder. Because when you have to call a number to somebody for something, then you know how hard it is for you to receive money. So those are the sort of things I help people with. Excuse me. So today we're talking about quantifying how effective your lead gen process is. And whether we like it or not, we have to. Because if you're not leading people in the pipe, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, however you do it, and you don't want to wait yearly. Sorry, why am I even saying that? Some people don't even know how to do this. Because if you heard you give away something freely often and you're good, that's not good enough. You need all those steps that I'm talking about. I think I spoke about it when I first talked about goal setting. And that's part of your lead gen. Part of your lead gen is maybe meetups. The Biz Chicks have first Mondays. That's another lead gen. You should be going there to build relationships to start that process. And a lead generation is never because the person's going to buy from me tomorrow or next week. It's about building a relationship to get them there. And maybe they're never going to buy from you, but maybe you're leading a relationship to recommend their services to somebody else because it comes back to full. So you have to understand how you're leading people into your funnel. And so you have to be able to quantify how this happened. What's the steps? What's the 3 first steps? What is the first, after them, what comes next? Do I have a 3-step system or a 7-step system? And then how does that look? And you need to figure this out, how you want it to look. And we come here every Wednesday. I come every Wednesday and talk to you, the Biz Chicks, are here Monday to Friday. And we're telling you about these things. And I feel no way saying it. Somebody asked me the other day, continue saying, I give a lot of free stuff away. So there's things that you got to buy. And to know the steps and all those intricate things is where we sit down and do that sort of thing. But you have to have this stuff in place if you're going to be in business. You have to operate as a business owner. And when you're operating as a business owner, as much as I want you to, pay for services from other people and everybody come in and help you, you need to understand your role in your company so that you can talk to people really clearly about what your needs are. Anything, Fran, you want to add?
Yeah, the quantifying your lead generation and where you're getting your leads from, the process. See, a lot of times we don't think about that being a part of the process, meaning, okay, what are you doing to meet new people? Lead generation pretty much in a nutshell is meeting new people.
Yes.
you go and talk to new people, because you're going to you always need to be talking to people in order for people to know about whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes.
You know, if it's a clothing store, if it's a I think Michelle is still here, but she does an awesome job with massage. And but if she never tells anybody what she does, or if she doesn't get out there and introduce herself, or if she doesn't get out there and meet new people, then the pool is limited to the number of people that she will be able to serve.
Exactly. And it gets dries up, right? You have to be replenishing all the time. You don't have to accept every friendship, but when you get Facebook friend requests, especially if you were in a group, you were talking and people reach out to you, you should have in place, and I keep saying just these three things, where you get yourself either a spreadsheet, Google Docs is the simplest, I really encourage, and set up something for yourself, a little 3-step system where you get to introduce yourself first. The minute you say yes to the friend request, introduce yourself. Step number 2, you might want to offer them something that has an opt-in, or just give them a free gift. It's really up to you. And then the third step, because I don't want you to be wasting time with a whole bunch of steps, sorry, the third step is ask them to have a face-to-face Zoom meetup like this with you. You don't even have to do a half an hour, do 15 minutes, and just tell them straight up, I'm not trying to sell you anything, it's just an acquaintance set up where I want to see your face. It's the closest to me meeting you in person, and have this chat with them. And then you get to see what it is you can do for each other. And then don't be afraid as you go through your week. Every week, have something to tell them that's happening, see what's going on, see how you can help them. And that's how you build that. And if you've been afraid to say, well, there's so many people, how can I keep track of everybody? Then a spreadsheet. You can get Asana, you can get all sorts of things. You can get a simple spreadsheet. If you don't know how to do spreadsheet, just set up your own one on Google, and just, I talked this person at 28. My next touch is on the X, Y, and Z. My next touch is here. And then once you do your touch, do a tick next to it. Put a little heart. Get some kind of system in place so that when you reach back out to them, you're keeping track. And that's how you know what's going on. And after a while, you're going to know who is really the core you want to instinct to, and how those people is going to spread out to other people. Because if you're doing that, they're going to tell people about you. And you're going to get out a friend request. And you're going to see if you're, this is what you need to be doing for yourself. And every social media have their own thing that do. This is just Facebook I'm talking about. I could talk about so many other ones, but we're talking about Facebook today because that's where I'm at mostly.
And so you in creating that little tracking system is not that difficult. If you need help, we will help you with that. If you worked for someone else, you did this. You had to keep in contact with all your clients. Oh, you had a Rolodex.
There you go.
And it had a tickler file.
Yes.
The little tickler file said, oh, we're going to call Mr. Smith back tomorrow, or in 3 weeks, I'm going to call Mr. Smith back. We all had this. It's not anything different. So it is the same system that you use when you worked for someone else. You now create a system to work for you on your business.
Exactly. And, I heard a girl saying the other day, the old ways no longer work. We really got to get to the new ways, and people don't want to. And I said to myself, it's not true. We'll just take the old thing that we were doing and we just modernize it. but because when you tell people it's new, they freak out. Their brain don't like to hear new. I got to learn something new. I don't want to learn something new. You have to find ways of telling them that this is what we used to, just like you said, it's the Rolodex. Now we're using on a computer, but the same thing. The same idea. That way they're like calmer and they can receive it better, because we're talking to a different set of people. And we don't know who, as much as we want to have our avatar, we still have to be a little flexible with avatar. I remember the first time I was just looking at 35-year-olds, I think 45 or 40, because when I first come online, they only a 5-year gap, don't do the 10, and all sorts of things. 20-something year ago, probably said, so you wouldn't help 20-something? I said, I would, but my avatar, she's like, I need your help. I think we talked on Thursday. By the Saturday, she was on a call with me. She booked me right away because just what was happening. She's like, I speak to 20-year-olds in their 20s and they're too scattered. I need somebody who's grown. I've got 4 kids. I've got a husband. I want to start a business. And right now, everything is up in the air. Water's in my house. I don't know what to do. And that's how I got a client just from talking about what I was doing. Right away, booked me, we talked, got her organized, and get her moving. because you never know where your client is going to come from. So you got to be a little flexible when you have your avatar, right? When you have your ideal client.
Okay,
and so everybody's saying your soulmate client.
I like that, your soulmate client.
Yeah. Which is great because you get to talk with them, and they don't feel. You got to be stern and start but they don't feel like you were just hung in on them. Nobody wants to feel like somebody's with a whip over their back. Nobody's hiring you for that.
So we talked about quantifying your lead generation process. Now, what's the next thing on the list?
So the next thing on the list is step 4 is relying on your quantification to tell you where you need to improve. And we touched on that a little bit, but where you need to improve. So the system is part of the improving. The next part of improving your quantification is stepping out your comfort zone and actually spreading. And this was hard for me initially to spread things that I know that worked to other people, because part of me was fear people just going to grab it and go with it and da 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 da. And then because I come from a different thought process. But once I was able to release it, it was better because I have, created so much free stuff now because I see the need for it. And if I see the need for something, I'll just share it. Mm-hmm. So the system I'm talking about that I'm setting up, when somebody asks something free, whether they sign up or not, I'll say, this one I can give it out, you signing up to get on my list. Here you go. Take it and go with it. And I get to see if it works, because when it worked for me, it's great. But when it worked for somebody else, I know it's a really good system. And sharing it makes you know this. And so it tells you what's happening. And that's how you get to, see, this is what I said I'm going to do. This is how it works. But somebody else uses it and they love it. And somebody else uses it. And here's the other great thing about when you share it and people use it. You can improve on it and sell the improvement section. You can add on and sell that section because now you're proving that it's a system somebody, want and use and need. And I've been talking to quite a few people, and most people don't have a messenger system. I mean, there's people who have the what's it called? The bot that they use, but lots of people have the bot and then show what to put into the bot.
Oh, the bots.
Yeah, the bots, yes.
And sometimes the bots work, but if you don't understand how bots work, you need to get an understanding of everything before you start using a tool. Well, everybody said I should have a bot. Well, you need to understand what you're going to put in the bot.
Yes.
And a bot is an automated reply when someone asks you a question. So, but you want it to sound like it's a person and not a robot.
Mm-hmm. And that's the trick in it, right? That's the trick in it, because, I was on a Facebook ads stuff for another company of mine, and the guy was talking about it. Somebody did one of those automatic, and he was answering questions that had nothing to do, because the bot was set up for certain things, used for something else. So, of course, the client to be was like, what? What are you talking about? That's no relation.
In some instances, it may be better for them to talk to you personally than to talk to the bot.
That's exactly right, because the guy said he lost a good paying client because of the bot, and so now he doesn't like them. But it's how he set it up. You can't realize it's his fault and call the person back. So if you're not sure about bots, this system I'm talking about, it's a better way to start off before you understand it, because then you know what you need.
Right. So so we talked about quantifying your leads, and like Michelle, again, she's here.
Mm-hmm. Hi,
Michelle. Michelle, like I said, she's a masseuse and she's very good at it. So if she were to do that, she would need to go to meetups in different places where people need to feel better, to feel more relaxed, or people who are trying to get into a different space, to calm down.
Yes. And most people are overwhelmed and stressed. So at a meetup, if she was at a meetup and get into conversation with people, one of the biggest things that I used to teach what to do when you get to meetups. And one of the things I say to people, don't get too hang up on telling people everything about your business, but rather have this conversation about your business in a more conversational way. So when you talk to them about your business, the pressure is off of you, and then they also feel the pressure off of them. And they actually want to have a conversation with you, and they really want to reach out to you later. Because I mean, if I'm in a place and I meet somebody like Michelle talking about massage, I'm going to want to know about her company, because that's where I go and get some release. That's where I go and I feel like, oh, that's gift giving I'm going to want to do. So I want to really talk to her about this. But if she's coming at me with too much pressure, then I'm going to back off. Whereas if she just come talking to me about her company and what it does and how she's helped her clients before, and you know the feedback she got from them, those are the sort of things I want to buy into, listen to. That's the reason we love movies, is because they paint this great, you know, they're great storytellers, and that's what we really need to become, really great storytellers. It's a skill that some of us just have, and I'm blessed with it. But there's people that you could learn how to become a good storyteller. You know, you could learn how to weave it into conversation. And it's just a learned art if you know it's something you've never been doing before, so that you're not so abrupt and feeling abrasive to others. And so, yeah. So we just talked a little bit about where you need to improve. Look for your improvements. It's important. Don't say, I got it done, pack, everything is great, I don't need to tweak it. Go and check it out. You might think it's intact. Like, I've got that 3-step system, but then some people I've spoken to before, so they might not need the introduction part. Like, hi, hope you're doing well. How could I be of service and build a relationship? That's my first thing that I said. The second part is where I send them my free money principle. But if I'm talking to you and that's not a need, then I wouldn't send that to you. I would see what else is the other need. Some people I don't need to introduce myself because we've spoken before, so they get the 5 free months money principle immediately. And then we do the Zoom chat. Some people it's just a 2-touch. Some doesn't need the 3. It's just a 2-touch. So it just depends on where we are and how active they are and how friendly they are that decide where we land. And you have to be able to evaluate.
So what I hear is that you actually have to have a system.
Well, you know, I love my systems.
Well, because
you know, I love my systems, Brad.
So your business is a series of touch points. It's not just, okay, somebody just comes and buys something. So we're using Michelle again. So Michelle should have a first of the introduction to somebody. There's a whole system. If the person does not know you, there's the whole conversation that you have when they don't know you. Then there's a conversation, and if I'm hearing you correctly, then there's a conversation of the people who know you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then there are people who are coming back to you a second or third time. That's a different conversation.
Different conversation. And you just want to have those things set up in place. I know we have heard, you know, get the people first, build the course after, don't get it ahead of time. But there's times when, look, somebody reached out to me yesterday and said, do you have any online classes? I'm looking to take some classes. If you don't have classes set up and somebody asks you for a class, you're scrambling. And I'm not saying you can't, but I'm like, I've got classes that I can just send you to here. Go pay PayPal, and you can get this class. Or you could start off, you know, even the ones I'm working on, I can send you the first part of the classes so that you can start taking the class. So you want to start having those things in place. Your in-between time is really your productivity time. Most people are so busy worried. That's why I like to talk about bills and that. If you're worried about your bills only, but you're not thinking about anything else, you can't be productive. You got to say, okay, this is my bills. I open everything. It's here. I know this is the dates. It has to be paid. But over here is where I'm working to carry that over there. And it really twitches and switches the way you're feeling. And so we talk about Michelle. Let's say she had somebody just walk into, let's say, I don't know if her business is come and visit you at home or she has a building. But let's say she had an office. Somebody just walked in, right, off the streets, and they saw the sign. They came in. She talked to them. They said, okay, I need a massage right away. She didn't have to do a lot of touches with them. She'll be doing the reverse. She'll look after them really well, and her next touch point would be to inquire how they're doing after they leave the massage, so she can be in touch with them. Would this be something that you think you'd want to do often? But when she touched them, probably the second or third time, she'll be telling them what new deals is coming up for the month of November or December. If they're looking to give a gift, she'll be talking to them about, you know, however she look after people in that frame of her business. She'll be talking to them about all these things, and that'll be the way she start building her email list and talking to the person, whether it's calls or email or texting, however she does her stuff. That's what she'll be doing with them. And there's so many people. You know, I went to really posh places on get massage, and I am still in shock that they never call me back to find out if I want to book more. They've never called me to find out how great it was. I think I went to a school once, a friend, Caren, and I think that was the only one, the girl at the desk asked if she can call. I said yes, and she called me once, and then she said she's leaving the business. Nobody never called me back. They could have had my business. Never call me to find out if I come every 3 months. Do I want it monthly? Nothing.
And you're saying that just about a massage profession, but I've experienced that even with people who do Mary Kay, Avon, or whatever. Call me back and see if I need a new lipstick. Call me back to see if I want some new earrings. We just got some new earrings in. Call me back to see, oh, there's a new product now that this milkshake will help you stay full during the day. Call me back and tell me about your new stuff.
Yeah, but most people are looking at, I don't want to bother you because I don't like to be bothered. Initially, yes, base your customer off of you, but you need to move from that very quickly, because the minute you get 2 or 3 customers, you realize people don't have half of the crap you're carrying around. People are just busy and forget. And they're happy to be reminded because they're going to go somewhere else. Like, you have to call them up, you know, you have to call them up and have a conversation with them. Like, literally, I remember when I first started calling people up, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie, it was out of practice. And I would call them up because I was more of a meet you face-to-face kind of gal. And I would just call them up and say, listen, I'm not calling to see if you need our services anymore, just calling to check in and see how you do it. Maybe they told me the husband was sick, how things are going. And, you know, I really wanted to call you to get it clean, but I've been so busy. When can the girls come over? And more time than not, 2 out of 3 times, they'll come back on and circle back around and probably use us for a year or 2, because things happen.
And see, I think a lot of people think that it is you're doing it and you're being salesy and you're being a pushy or whatever, but you're not. If you don't, I heard this the other day, if you don't offer the service that you're gifted with, you are doing humanity a disservice.
Yes.
Because they need you.
Yes.
People need what you have to offer. And if you don't present it to them, you are not helping them.
You're definitely not helping them.
When you're keeping it inside, you don't tell somebody what it is that you do. You're hiding the gift. Okay, you're not selling the peaches. We need peaches, but you won't sell us peaches. You won't even tell us you have peaches.
Exactly.
And you're holding it back and you're holding it in, and now you're not getting compensated because you never told anybody that you have the solution for this.
Exactly. And we have to tell them. And anytime I'm stuck, I go back to basics. I just sell out of my mom's house in Guyana in the street, and people know I sell. And I remember my sister and me, so Caren, why? Because I used to send my sisters to remind my customers in the street. I'm like, I got my list of people I say go, because we didn't have phones. I would send them lists. I have the list, and I'll say, go and tell Rosie on Sunday we have this. Go tell Rod this, and I got my list. And my sisters go to listen. They tick it off. They stop at the door. They knock. They're like, you know, Caren gonna have this then and that then. And if people say yes, okay, so could we? And most people pay in advance. Then every time I send out the list, they'll pay in advance because they wanted it. Because they thought that I didn't tell them, but they just thought that they wouldn't get in. Because they weren't reminded. So the urgency was there without me understanding and knowing these things, because I was young, I was a teenager, but I would send out these lists, send out the name. It was on a piece of paper, and she would just go around and they'll say, okay, and they'll just tick off. And if business was being loud, it'll raise right back up. And that's what we have to really understand. Don't get hooked up on people talking about their 6 figures, 4 figures, 3 figures. Even if you know 1 figure, don't worry about it. Just get into people and talk to them. Hi, how are you doing? I'm not sure if you know what my company does, and I just want to tell you a little bit about it. And if you're interested, great. And if you're not, but you know someone who can use our services, then you might want to point them my way. And let me know if I can do anything for you. It's that simple. Don't make it complicated. You're a human touching another human. And offer something. If they didn't respond to you, maybe they're busy. Maybe you send a voice note next time. If you see after 2 or 3 times they're not getting back to you, move on. Don't feel hurt. Don't sit down and be worried about it. Just move on because that time is over. You can't do anything about it.
Wow. So, I know you need to get on to point number 4 or 5. So,
okay. So step 5, and even though we talk about it, I'm going to still reiterate it. Test it out. All the stuff I'm talking to you about is to test it out. Test it out, tweak it. If it works, turn it into a system. Francine asked about a system, but all the stuff we're talking about, we're tweaking before we turn it into a system. Turn it into a system that works for your business. Tweak it so it works for your business. Another thing you have to understand, if you hire a coach, she's going to help guide you to where you told her you want to be. You can't hire a coach to organize your business and ask why she's not helping you get sales. You didn't tell her you need help in sales. Now, she is going to give you a few pointers. She's going to talk to you about a few things in sales, but you didn't tell her that's what you need. And she can't give you this because a coach is not somebody who's giving you what she wants to give you. She has to guide you in the area you ask for the guidance. When you come to strategy, you guys hire somebody to strategize with you. You're going to spend time strategizing. And what strategy really means, you know, I had the meaning. I can't remember out of my head. But what strategy mean? What does it mean to you? Because maybe the word means something else than it really means to you. And you're like, I get away from that meeting. That was no strategy. Well, she told you how to set things up. That's what strategy is. How to move it through the pipeline.
Right.
Simple as that. It's just a fancy word that everybody's using. And so everybody understands it. But then there's a whole bunch of people who don't understand strategy. And so they left the meeting, you know, what just happened?
Michelle says here, I agree. I was making calls to clients I haven't seen in a while, and just one of them replied, oh my gosh, I need you. I would not have known if I hadn't reached out.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Reaching out, get you a customer, bring money in your wallet. I don't care if it's $50. I don't care if it's $100. It brings you money in your wallet. I had a meeting with somebody on Pinterest because I won this thing and this charging person. And just talking about stuff, you know, we're talking back and forth, and I've got this program that I wasn't really putting time into, I'm not gonna lie. But after we finished, while we were in conversation and strategizing, she said, so Caren, how are you gonna sell this program? What are you gonna do about it? And I said, I really like the concept of doing it over a year, if it was a long period, at $100 a month. Because what it will allow people to do is get in there and actually do work, right? I want people in there who need work. If I get 35, 60 people, I'm great. But I want people in there who's going to do the work, who's going to come in, register for the program. So we're talking from one thing to another. And she's like, because when people are coming in and don't know you yet, sometimes, even if they have the money, they don't ready yet to spend big money with you, because they don't know enough. So $100 a month is not a lot. It's $25 a week to really come in and learn how to set up a business from the ground up into making sales. So they'll go through all the process and all the stuff. And so every social media platform, it's something different. It teaches you how to get people through the pipeline differently. So don't worry about how many places you have to be, and worry about where do I want to take my time and be disciplined enough to spend it getting people through the pipeline. Because we start off talking about effective lead generation, getting people in the pipeline.
So, Michelle, make sure you reach out to me after this broadcast, because I need to talk to you about some ways that you can use Instagram to help build your business. There are ways that you can do it. You have stories to tell.
Oh, there you go.
And you really need to be utilizing the platform, and it's an easier platform. There are some platforms that are a little easier to maneuver than others, and where you can tell a story, and you can tell a story in pictures.
Yes.
And be able to generate, oh wow, I need to go do that.
Yes, and her business really would do great in pictures. I saw the girl had a live on 2 nights ago because when I'm finished working at dinner, sometimes I come back down and just look at videos I couldn't, you know, spend time in the daytime with. Even my own, I would come back and listen to me speak to see, you know, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and watch it from a different angle. And this girl just had it on for 20 minutes, and all she did was put on some nice soothing music, put the camera, set up her room, and then walk you through the massage from top to bottom. And the music played. She didn't respond to anybody. She didn't really say anything. She just take you through the journey. And because I love massagers and I love getting them, I can't believe I sat there for 20 minutes just watching her massage somebody.
But she's teaching you what to expect, because there are some people, when it's your first massage, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to wear.
Yes.
You don't know how to prepare. And Michelle, that is something that you can really help people with. How to have your first massage.
Yes, I didn't know the first time, and I wish somebody showed me what the girl showed me. Maybe that's why I was watching. Now I know, but at the same time, she took her time, set it up, and then walked you through. I thought it was genius.
Yeah. Because then, you know, you can hear the water trickling, you can hear the calming music, and you can almost smell the eucalyptus in the room. And you're, Calgon, take me away. You're helping someone get away, even if they're just watching the video.
Yes, yes, and her logo is there. You can see it's her house. She's doing it out of. It doesn't look like an outfit, like a spa place to me. It looks like it's her place, and she probably got a friend to come over and just get it done, who's willing to say yes, you know, and help me along and stuff. Oh yeah, friend will help you for sure, Michelle, too. So, you know, get that going, because social media, people always like to talk about what's not happening. I can't get this, I can't do that. You can't get nothing anywhere, first of all, unless you do, and be very uncomfortable. That's part of life. Part of business is being uncomfortable. We all want to leave our jobs, if you're in a job, and get a full-time, work full-time from home. But full-time from home is not easy. It's very uncomfortable. It's putting yourself out there. It's getting shut down every single day by a few. It's going to happen. Because when people feel bad about themselves, what they do, they have to lash out at other people. And so they do it. You got to become thick-skinned. And if you're not in the moment, it will help you become thick-skinned. So when you hear no, when you hear, I don't want your service, I don't want you to send me another thing in the mail, I say, okay. Again, they're on your list, scratch it off. That's not people I want to reach out to. Socially, sure, but not for my business. I know some of them are spammy, but I really applaud the people who is in those MLM and reaching out to people, and they're pounding away the pave. Now, some of them really need somebody to guide them the right way, but at least they're doing and they're trying and they're working their business. So I can't fault them for that. If it's really bad, I will message them back and say, this is not a way to do it. Like, I ask you how you're doing, and you told me nothing about yourself, but you give me you probably copy and paste this to tell me about how great that if I buy jewelry for $2, I can sell it back for $5 and I'll make a killing. I don't want to make a killing that way. And I'm not condemning you, but I can't see, that's not quality jewelry for $5. Sorry, it is not. I don't care what you tell me. It is not. There's people who can't wear, like my mom have to wear silver directly, and people in my family have to wear gold. Like those costume jewelry would kill our ears. We couldn't wear it. So, and those are things you would want to build up and know about your customer instead of dumping them a set of information, you know, that they don't need. And nobody told you that. So I understand. And I don't be harsh with them. And some people probably is, but there's no need. It's like telemarketers. I learned so much from telemarketers. I don't insult them. Unless there's a person who's banging and wouldn't stop and listen, then I hang up. But people who would listen, I give them 1 or 2 pointers where they could or should do.
And you would provide training for them. Yes. You probably do better if you don't yell at me and tell me I'm not doing it right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So, Caren, I just want to thank you for stopping in here today, and we're going to pick up this point next week, and because we're just going to keep going right through this. I really do believe that it takes time to change a mind.
It does.
And and people are just breaking through and seeing the daylight on some things like, oh wait, I can have conversations with people and it's okay.
Yes, yes. That thought in itself alone, Fran, you're right, takes time for people to understand that I could talk to somebody, not get a sale from them, and it's okay. Number one. I could also talk to that person and get a sale from them, and it's not wrong.
Correct.
And it's okay for me to work in my genius helping and be paid
right
for that service.
Right.
That's the other conversation. Today we didn't talk money, we talked mainly mindset and processes. But the other portion that I really want people to understand and instill with themselves, it's that you can make money off of these things. It's okay to be compensated. It's okay to be paid. It's okay to ask yourself to discipline yourself enough to make $100 a day. And you would have to go away and decide what my business needs to look like to make 100, 200, 500, whatever your number is, because you're not limited to the 100. But I like to say 100 because it really allows you to see that you could do it. And a friend of mine had something set up where, you know, she sell planners, she sell little workshops and something else. And it's $27, $47, so she's at 100 and something a day. And that's her base compared to other things. So she's doing this, but she's been doing this for a while. So she knows that you probably wouldn't do it yesterday or today, but if you put your mind to it, in 7 to 10 days, you probably could start figuring out what you can put together to make $100 a day, if that was your goal, whatever that thing is. Now, you're going to have to be disciplined enough to take a lot of friendships in, build a lot of relationships, because the money's so small that you have to have quantity. And that's another thing you really need to ask yourself. Do I want to look after the massive, or do I want high ticket items so that my energy is spent really deep instead of wide? But when you're starting out, you do have to be wide before you can get deep, because people don't know you. So you might have to figure out all these different areas before you're able to get deep. So don't be discouraged if you're wide initially. Don't be discouraged, because you can reel it in as you grow and as your money start coming in. It's better to have little dribbles coming in, you know, nice and slowly than nothing.
Right.
And you're waiting for the big bucks. You're waiting for somebody to buy your coaching, package. Like coaching is different. You don't make money every day. You don't make money every week. That's not how coaching works. That's what most of us as coaches have. Classes that we sell, workshop that we sell. We go and get interviewed. We go and we do talks for people so that people can see us and book us for different things. It's not the money that you make every day, every week. So you have to figure out and set up your business in such a way that there's other streams from your genius that is feeding. Because you gotta live, you're working.
Yes, and you have a complimentary massage, Caren. We have to figure out how to get you from Toronto here or get Michelle there, but you have a complimentary massage. So, Michelle, put your contact information in the chat, please, in case somebody's watching on replay and they need to reach out to you. Now, what I didn't tell you is that Michelle, I think I need to have her come on as a guest one time.
Right.
She helped a gentleman that was planning a climbing trip. I think it's either Kilimanjaro or Everest or something. He was going to go climb this mountain, but she helped him prep by, doing the massage and helping him get his body ready for that journey.
Oh my God, all the muscles inside. Can you? Oh, yes.
And so she was, I think she has pictures of his trip or what have you, but that's a story that needs to be told.
Yes.
That sets her apart from just the normal, okay, I'm going to do a massage and da-da-da-da. She has a story.
That is a story, because when we used to have Scope, there's this guy who helped a lady named Vic. She couldn't sit and she had to stand, and he helped her able to sit And that was through online. Give her different exercises to do, have her do it. And then eventually they met and he gave her a massage and do stuff with her. But he was walking her through a lot of things because she had a bad car accident. And, you know, they told her she wasn't able to sit. She can barely lie. The things that the chiropractor told her she's not going to do, he turned that all around. And, you know, through her testimonial, a lot of people start booking in. So I could see that Michelle doing what you just talked about. She got it. That's a whole new market for her.
Right. And there are high-end people who would pay for that.
Yes.
And they may not be, you know, they may not be in the circle that she is there, but out online, people may fly you in to help to have you take care of them.
Yes, because of what she's offering. I never even heard of it.
Right.
I didn't even heard of it.
And I was like, she goes all in on her services. And so her services are really top notch. And but we need to tell the world about them.
Yes.
On the other side of your obedience, somebody needs you to be obedient to what you do. Somebody is just waiting for you to obey your calling, to express your genius. Somebody is waiting to experience your genius, and they can't do it if we never put it out there, if we don't do it. So if you don't walk away from anything else we say today, anybody listening, please share your genius because people need it.
Yes.
You're on this planet because you have genius to share. You just wasn't here, just being here.
Coach Caren, we got purpose, and we got to work in our purpose. I'm the first to tell people I start business because I needed money. My purpose find me, true doing it, but it didn't start with my purpose. So if you didn't start with your purpose, it's okay.
Right, but you will discover. You will discover what your purpose is, and then Coach Caren, she discovered at a very young age that she was good with money, and that she helped people. She was helping older adults with money, and you were what, 9, 10?
Yeah, from 10.
and everybody's like, you're 10 years old. What are you doing? But you had a unique understanding about how money worked and how you need to be disciplined with money, and you were helping adults be disciplined with their money and getting out of situations in their money.
Exactly. So when you're working in your purpose, what you're supposed to do, God send people to you. Because in those days, those people seek me. Their kids seek me out, yeah. But God, God is in the midst of that. There is no way, if He's not in the midst, I could have done that on my own. There's just no way. So I just wanted to say that, and I always want to give Him the glory because He has just put me in places where I get there and I can do that. And then I know I can do it, and then I did it, right? All right, continue to do it.
Yes.
Today, I hope you guys get value of what I presented today. I hope you think about it, figure out how you want to do this. And if anybody's listening to this or the replay and need to figure out how to systemize it, just reach out and I would put it, or maybe I'll just put it together and probably do it where I have gaps where they can just download it and use it for themselves. Probably put it in the district with something to just have and do.
But definitely put your contact information in the chat. Reach out to Caren on Messenger, because you can always send a messenger or request.
Yes.
Let's use
and we'll continue all this October to talk about our goal setting, about the disciplines and all the things that the business need. And if anybody is looking to get themselves together, they might want to come join the Money Mindset Academy. In there, it's not only just one program. It's whatever you need, you can take and do. But also, and it doesn't have a name right now because I'm still name searching. So if you guys think of anything, let me know what you think it should be called. That's what I've been doing in groups, trying to find a name that is catchy, fun, and things that people want to come into. I did like fundamentals, but I'm playing around with that and something to cover the whole spectrum of, going through a program. So the first 4 months will be intense, but taking everything up, because I want people to come in there and make money, not just be in a program, I'm going to the program and doing the work, but actually come in, make money from their geniuses and continue understanding all these other parts that I come and talk about, but more in depth.
Making money from your genius.
Hey. Yay. See, it's always good to talk, because then the more you talk about it, the more, you get ideas of what to call it, because people want to know something that triggers them, right? That's just what it is. I'm good at explaining, I'm good at really teaching, but naming program, it's not my genius. So I'm always asking around, what should I name a program? Here's what I'm offering. Tell me what you think it should be named. Here's the cost that's associated with it. So
yeah, and we BizChicks, Coach Caren, and everybody that is here, we're all about helping you take the hassle out of your hustle. Hustle's not a bad word. Hustle just means that you're working on something. And
yes.
And we want to make it hassle free. We want to be able to help you get in there, figure out how to do it and do it well, how to reach the people who need to hear from you, and then just get out there and do it. Build a profitable business that's fun to run.
Fun to run, yes.
And where you just look, you show up every day and like, woohoo, I get to talk about this today. I get to help these many people today. We want you to have fun. It should not be frightening or scary. Okay, I know Halloween is upon us, but business should not be scary.
I like that.
It's not. It's not. Business is not scary. Business is fun. And you get to help people. It's always fun when you can help somebody with your product or your service.
It's so fun. So fun.
And where you can see people's relief on their face because you brought illumination and light to their dark world. They're like, oh my God, I can do this.
Yes, exactly.
So we're going to be back here tomorrow on Thursday. We're going to be talking about your health, because if you're not healthy, then there's not going to be any way that you can be wealthy, because you're spending all your money at the doctor or on pills or on something trying to get healthier. So we want to talk. We always put the health element in, whether it's mental health, whether it's physical health. We need to be healthy. And I got to find out who's coming on tomorrow. Michelle, if you're available, I might have you come in, because you can talk to us about how to relax.
Yeah.
Because, people are all tensed up and like, and you can tell when you're tensed up, neck hurt, back hurt, just.
Yes.
and tension comes from different places. See, you got so many stories to tell.
Yes. She definitely does.
And then Friday, we're talking about tech. We're going to be how to use those things that you have within you. There's a tech challenge out to see how much work you can do with your phone alone. Whether it's an Android, whether it's Apple, we don't care. But what can you do with your phone only? How much work can you get done with your phone? Can you set appointments? Can you communicate with your clients? Can you work your database? You should be able to do everything from your phone, because that's the way the phones are set up.
I was resisting it for so long. I'm not going to lie. Just because it's so small and I like a bigger thing to type on, I'm not going to lie. Because, I finally started using my notes in my phone, my reminders because I had quite a few appointments last week because I wasn't feeling good. Things got thrown over for a couple of weeks. So I put them in the phone. I'm finally like, my daughter's laughing. She's like, Mom, that's what I do everything. It's here, but
and because it's always with us.
Yeah, so I agree. I need to do way more than I do with it. It's just I text and I call. That's about it. Now I'm challenging
everybody who's watching live and on the replay. We're going to talk about it on Friday, but let's see how much you can do with your phone. Let's do more than you did the last week.
Yes.
Just start someplace and put some things into place. You'll be surprised and like, oh, Use your phone, talk to Siri, talk to Alexa, talk to Google, and they will do stuff like help you find places to go and help you find calculations. You know, you really don't even have to pull out a calculator and go plus and do this with your finger anymore. You can actually say, hey, Google, how much is da 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 plus da 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 da? And it will calculate for you. I was like, oh. It's like, yes, I don't have to, you know, what's the square?
Especially in real estate with all those big numbers that you have to be calculating.
And it was like, what's the square root of da 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 da? Because, you know, in real estate, they wanted us to know, you know, how many square feet is in a acre. I was like, oh my gosh. And you have to get out a calculator and try and figure it out. Hey, Google, how many square feet are in an acre? Oh, that's 43,526. Okay, see?
I got to ask you something after the show, friends.
I do too. And I was going to talk to you too. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you. And I'll be talking to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.